What's up guys, how's it going? Finally back with another video. I know it's been a long time. I have a lot to share in this one, a lot of updates, so please just bear with me. I had a lot of things in life come up that, just stopped me from making videos, and it's not my number one priority. This channel is just for fun, just to have a new media to share what I do on the sides. In this video, we're going to share an update on the GS and a couple of other things. First off, I got a new truck. I bought a 2015 F-150 crew cab with the 5.5 foot bed. I would have liked the 6.5 foot, but beggars can't be choosers in my scenario. But this one's still nice, has the sport appearance package, all blacked out interior, has the center console, has the Wiener base model radio, but that's fine. I really enjoy it. It's been a great truck to me so far. It gets 22 average miles per gallon, and that's like half city, half highway driving, which is phenomenal. Mind blown. Would not have figured that, which is even better than the Jeep I was driving around before. So that's way better than that even. So I'm very thankful for this and thankful that everything worked out in that manner. It has the 2.7 EcoBoost, which I towed the Lexus to my first drift event in 4 years using this truck, and this thing towed beautifully, even with a crappy U-Haul trailer and all my stuff thrown in here and everything. Towed like a dream. Absolutely beautiful. Loved every second of it, so I'm super hyped on this purchase. So now that that's been brought up, I did drift the GS at an event for the first time in 4 years this year. I hit the Club FR Drift Day 91 at the end of May, and went in there with low expectations and came out with probably one of the best days of my life to date so far, and I'm really glad I could share it with some of my friends. So I'll insert some clips here of the driving. First will be a quick outside clip that one of my friends got from outside the car of me doing intermediate course. This was still in the morning when I was feeling out the car. I had a pair of Achilles that I already shredded in like 4 laps, which I wasn't surprised by, but I threw on a pair of scrubs and just started driving, and they caught this clip. This next clip is another clip on intermediate from the afternoon taken by Jared, and this one really shows how comfortable I got with the car and how I figured out the lines and everything. I made a ton of progression. I didn't go out there killing it right away. And this is, mind you, this is my 3rd event ever. I had 2 events with the car automatic and basically dying before. And just not a good time. I had no idea what I was doing. So from about 2020 on, this is all from sim driving experience. So at any rate, here's this clip right now. Another clip taken by Jordan with the Genesis. This one was on advanced, so that was one of the items I wanted to tick off of my my list for this event. Maybe not for this event, but maybe for this year. I wanted to drive advanced. I didn't go into this event expecting to drive advanced. I didn't hope to drive advanced even. I thought, I'll go on intermediate, I'll spend the day on intermediate, I'll see what I feel comfortable doing. And a little bit of peer pressure and, me feeling confident by this point, I went out on advanced, and that is the most fun I've had driving anything, anywhere. It was so fun with the elevation changes and everything. So anyways, here's that clip right now. I've got a couple clips in here as well. Another thing that blew my mind that I didn't think I was going to get to do this event and wasn't expecting to do, I got my first tandem laps in. I tandem with Justin. Slide into the Mayhem on Instagram, and also I believe it's Massive Entertainment on YouTube. He posts some of the clips from his drift days and things like that pretty regularly, but I got to drive with him, which was a huge blessing. Thank you for trusting me, following you, and even leading some laps. Didn't do it very well on them because his car is super gripped up and really fast, and I had just scrubs on the rear, and I have a couple of degrees of negative camber, and I didn't even know what my toe was for this event. So he definitely gapped me, but I was able to catch up on a couple of corners, and it was really fun. For this event, I ran stock bumpers with no side skirts, and just, it wasn't butt ugly, but it was pretty close. I at least made an effort to make it somewhat presentable for the event, but I prioritized seat time for this one as well. So with that being said, let's get into the update on the GS and where we're at with that. I apologize in advance for the lighting. This unit doesn't have electrical in it, but this is the current state of the GS. Alright, so details on this so far. I have a BN Sports style kit for this. You'll come over here and see, yep, there's a skirt. And if we go back this way, we have the rear bumper as well. Sorry about all this random crap that I'm sitting here that I'm trying to get rid of, but first to note, I've had this kit for a while. I've had this since, I think, end of February. So a lot of this time has been spent just trying to get it to fit. I wasn't paying too much attention to it before, but now we're trying to make this car look good, so that's the next step. Notes about this kit: this is not a legitimate BN Sports kit. This is the Modelo Drive replica knockoff, however you say it. It fit on it is actually pretty good. So there's a couple of spots where it's not super great around the headlights, like you've got this gap in the corner here, and it doesn't exactly flow the best, but honestly, I'm not going to worry about that. And this right here, I'll just sand this out maybe a little bit to flow a little more evenly. This gap right here is kind of poopy, but I can also get another mounting bolt or something like that up in here to hold it up and suck it up better. So we'll see what we can do about that. Maybe smooth out some of these corners that it looks like that are on this thing. But over here, a little different story. This fits pretty well actually, and this one kind of the same story. Might have to do some sanding there, and then this corner, yeah. But it's a drift car. This is going to come off both voluntarily and involuntarily at some point, so I'm not super worried about it. Side skirt fitment is pretty good as well. Did a little bit of trimming along this line in here. My door does rub it a little bit, so I might have to take a little bit more material out of that seam right there. I also have to attach these things better because there's some play in this. I have them mounted up, as you can see, with with zip ties for now. I need to get more zip ties in here to support it that way, but zip tie mounting crucial so that when your kit flies off, it doesn't bust into a million pieces, or at least as bad as if you had it solid mounted, which I was worried about with this car before majorly, but I did change the ride height a bit. So that is the current ride height. Mind you, this is on 18s. I mean, gap wise, I can't even fit 2 fingers in there, like maybe 1. So it's not like full Mayhem stance. It's not majorly like that. It's higher than I would have originally liked it to be, but at the same time, look at all this real estate under the kit right here. If I want to street drive this car and drift USAIR and other tracks that are not going to be so nice to it, this is a good gap to have. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. It doesn't really look too bad at this ride height either. And it is supposed to be level, but I have smaller tires on the rear. Don't mind this fitment. I'm matching front to rear sizes. This is a 225 just for now. We will be running 235/40 Kenda KR20As all around on this thing. Which, by the way, the Kendas as steer tires were phenomenal, at least for my personal preference, because a lot of it's personal preference, but these tires held up very well during the event. I felt like I could throw the car wherever I wanted to. I had the right level of grip and slip if I wanted to go past full lock, which I may have done a couple of times. I'm not to that skill or awareness level yet, so I'm not super worried about that. With that aside, more updates on the front end. I have a set of eyelids on it. Some people might call them ricey, you know, whatever. This is very like early 2000s like D-car style to me, which I absolutely love. And these came from somewhere in Russia. The brand name, I don't have the packaging on me, but the brand name for the eyelids was Karl Steelman, but all the other writing was in Russian, so riddle me that one. And then we have a Blitz style grill here. Got the mesh there, just in a matte black, like primed, ready to paint finish for the time being. Other updates, I believe I had this seat in here last time I gave an update. There's my fiberglass dusty croc footprints in there, but bride reclining seat. I added some seat risers to this. I'm 5'7", and with the way the bride was mounted, it was about, I don't know, that's maybe 3 inches, maybe like 2 3/4 or something like that, but it was like on the floor and I couldn't see over the dash. So I put a riser in there, and that was enough for me to see comfortably, and I can see where I'm going now. This needs to be cleaned. That's super dusty. Still stock passenger seat. I'd like to change that at some point. Now the rear bumper is a whole different story, because this is where I've had to do a majority of my body work so far. So I also deleted the driver's side exhaust port on this thing, and I left the passenger side one. I wanted a single exit exhaust on this car. I felt it fit the D-car style a little better, and it's cheaper to run single exit basically. So I worked on deleting this. I had my buddy Matt help me out with this. That's at Smokin' Meats on Instagram. We worked on deleting that. I've had to make some minor adjustments to make it flow right with the rear tire here and sit at about the level of width that I want it. I got to do some work to the other side because it's still a bit floppy over there, so I need to either figure out a mount situation or add some fiberglass reinforcement to that. But this is my first time doing fiberglass body work at all, and I'm pretty happy with how this is coming out. I need to do just a little bit more filler and sanding work and form it a little better, but I'm pretty stoked on that. And these corners, people who have this kit know, and I got the warning beforehand, that this part right here sticks out way too wide. Like I'm talking maybe like a 1/4 inch on each side, 1/2 inch overall. So this had to get shaved down to the point where there was no fiberglass behind it. I added on some fiberglass reinforcement behind there, started working some fiberglass filler in here so it's got good structure to it and form. This side I'm pretty pleased with how it's come out so far. Like I said, I still need to get some regular filler in here and fix up some of the stuff. And the other side, well, that needs a little more work to get this corner intact, but that's about at the same stage. That gap in Drift Day stickers right there is just, that's something else to me. Had the 101 in the very next event 75, and shoot 16 events in between. That's not even counting 2020 when they were running DDQ instead of regular numbered drift days. So just a wild gap, but I'm more than grateful to be able to drive again. The next steps for this car are a number of things. For one, I have to deal with this wheel. So when I had these mounted, I actually took the pair of tires off, but I noticed there was a crack on the inner like barrel of these CR Lies, and I just ignored it and sent it anyways and had them mount these up at the track. Shout out Track Day Direct. And she flat. This is cambered in too, so she's very flat. So I either need to figure out getting that fixed, which I'll do at some point, probably just JB Weld, you know how you do. This one is fine and survived the day, so no worries there. But I got another pair of CR Lies down in the corner there. So that'll be the temporary cure. Long term, I do have a set of wheels that I'm working on for this thing. So give me a little bit. I'm a broke boy like the rest of you. But I do have a set of wheels that are gonna totally change this car. Lastly, finishing up bodywork and everything, and probably laying some primer down, some like etching primer into a lot of the bodyworked areas. And then I think I've decided on wrapping the kit the same color as the car and trying to really wash the crap out of this wrap and try to restore it to one color as I can. That's gonna be the cheapest short-term solution. It's gonna get the car looking good. It's gonna cost less money, like immediately, and less downtime, and I'll be able to get more seat time that way. And I think that's the best solution for now. After that, the whole car is getting stripped back down and repainted at some point. We'll see about that. We'll see how long that takes to come to fruition, but for now, that's the plan. So with all of that being said, I think I'm gonna pull this thing out, take it for a little cruise, maybe wash it up, and just enjoy it for a little bit, because I can. Oh yeah, that tire, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Crap. Oh well. At any rate, thanks for bearing with me through this update. I will have more content for you guys soon. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.